Hello, my name is David Noble, and this is a demonstration of my home surveillance system using freely available software and inexpensive devices for home recording. You can use any type of camera. I'm using a Xbox Kinect connected to my computer for this demonstration, but any highly available cheap webcam type device that can plug in via USB or wireless can be used for monitoring any area where you can place a camera. So as you can see, there are several things going on at the moment. This is my living room. There's some activity going on in the living room and also in the kitchen. And right now I have no alerts turned on, so basically everything is just filming. One of the problems that can commonly come up when using inexpensive cameras for any kind of surveillance is the lack of options with the software that comes with the camera. So this particular software, being open source, is very powerful, but can also be a bit complicated. So it works with just about any type of camera, like I said, even a laptop with a built-in camera and microphone, which is often a very cheap way to have a great surveillance system because the microphones built into laptops are aerial microphones, which make them very sensitive to any sound anywhere in the room that the laptop is placed in. So as you can see, a couple of the meters at the bottom are moving up and down as different things are happening in the room. Sounds, motion will trigger various thresholds that can then set off alarms. So if we take a look at the camera that I have set up here, we have a couple of options that pop up when we mouse over the screen. So we can record now, we can edit our settings, we can take photos, and we can actually talk through speakers remotely when we notice any kind of activity going on in the room. So currently we're just monitoring, and I'm going to put down the headset for a second and walk in front of the camera so we can see a couple of additional features that the software provides. Now, one of the features that it comes with the software is object modeling, so that we can track various objects in the room to tell if something has moved or been removed from the scene. And we can also have, because we're connected to a Kinect camera, we can have wireframes and skeletons incorporated into our surveillance system. So I'm going to put down the headset and I'm going to walk in front of the camera, and you'll see a green skeleton overlay on my body. And then as I pick up objects around the room, we'll see them get framed in a blue rectangle. Okay, so as you can see, as I walked in front of the camera, we had a green skeleton that appeared over my body. And as my wife was moving around in the background and picked up her coffee mug, you could see a blue rectangle appear around the object because it was being tracked. Now, the purple container that I picked up off of the top of the fish tank did not have a rectangle around it because I don't have that part of the room being watched for any type of activity. So there's a great deal of customization that can be put in here so that only certain activities, certain thresholds in audio or video or background modeling can trigger the alerts that will let you know that something has happened that is not part of normal activity in the area that is being surveyed. So let's take a look at some of the various options we can customize through the software editing capabilities. Okay, here are all the options that are in our camera settings. So as you can see, there are a multitude of options, and this is where the complexity of the software can come into play. So our video source is going to be any type of camera that we can connect to our computer, wireless or USB. I have my Kinect set up as my active camera. We have control over flipping X and Y coordinates or rotating, customize the directory name for the location of the camera, and customize the timestamp on how we're going to customize or configure the timestamp options that show up on the video as we're recording. We can mask our image with a image mask so that certain parts of the room that we're surveilling can't be filmed. We can set maximum frame rates for recording or for monitoring, and we can customize our microphone settings here. So let's take a look at the motion detection tab and see what kind of detection options we have for setting alerts. There are several options built into the software by default. and you can also set up your own custom detection. The default is 2 frames, which basically means look at 2 frames, and if anything changes between the 2 frames, then something is moving and therefore set off an alarm. Now that can be a little bit tricky when you're filming an area that has ambient movement, such as a outside scene where wind is blowing trees around or any other type of situation. So 2 frames can be a little bit tricky in a room with movement, a fan moving things around, etc. But we can also have background modeling as one of the options. And background modeling will allow you to model the background and look for certain things to move out of place. So we could, for example, watch a safe or watch a shelf full of products, and if anything is removed or moved on the shelf or in the safe, then the alert will be triggered. If we go over to our Alerts tab, and we have our alerts enabled, and we have it set for movement, and we have our recording mode set to record on alert. And I'm also going to go ahead and set my microphone options so that my microphone will trigger an alert if I go over the threshold. As you can see on my screen now, I have this green bar, which is the microphone sensitivity. If the microphone noise goes above that green bar, it should trigger an alert. Currently, I don't have alerts turned on, so you can see that nothing is happening. If I go into my microphone settings and adjust my microphone sensitivity, notice the green bar is now moving on my live image, and if I move it down below the threshold and I turn on my microphone alerts, now I have an alert happening. I currently don't have anything set up other than a pop-up for alert living room mic and the red flashing bar at the bottom of the screen to let me know that my threshold has been reached. Now if I drop the sensitivity back down, eventually my alarm is going to turn off after the number of seconds that I've specified in my customizable settings. But then you can see here it's very easy to use the ambient noise in the room to adjust exactly where your threshold is going to be for any noise level that should trigger an alert. This is perfect for surveilling overnight when it should normally be a quiet situation with occasional background noise such as road noise. But if any noise that is actually inside of the room happens, then an alert should be triggered and a notification can go out, and then immediate remote viewing can happen from any mobile device or any web browser. As you can see, some of the options here require a paid service to activate. Most of the options that come for free are all you need to be able to have complete surveillance, alerting, and remote viewing capability. However, if you do want to integrate on an enterprise level with YouTube or with any other type of system where we need to integrate this software, then we can have a subscription that does cost for a monthly fee to be able to activate those features. However, with the free service, we still have a great deal of control. On our recording mode tab, we can see that we can set our recording for whatever threshold we desire for our surveillance system. We can record on movement detection, or we can record based on the alert threshold that we have set on our alerts tab. So a great deal of flexibility here with calibration settings, quality settings, profiles, trigger recording, time-lapse recording enabled. So if you're watching an area where we don't necessarily need to capture full motion video, we can do a time-lapse recording where we're just going to capture a frame every 10 seconds or 30 seconds or every minute or so. Other nice features are the ability to control global settings right here from this control panel. All on, all off, apply schedules, record on detect or alert, turn off all your recordings or alerts globally from here. So you can have multiple cameras set up. I just currently have the one, but you can have as many cameras here connected as you like for different areas around one business or one home, or for multiple businesses and having one central control panel. Other really cool options here that we can set up are the ability to view remotely. So if I go to view media here, and this is something I can get to from any computer that has internet access, is a web page that can allow me to view live. So here from a web browser at any location. I can now embed this as a live viewer on any web page. I can share it to YouTube, or I can privately make it so I'm the only one who has access. From here, if you have a camera that has controls such as pan and zoom, we can control all the options from here and remotely control our camera, and have options from anywhere in the world in terms of monitoring and watching and even interacting live over the internet. From here, if I have my system set up to allow input from a remote microphone and to allow me to speak with my voice through the speakers connected to the surveillance system, then I can actually talk into the room remotely from any location to basically give instructions or let somebody know that you are watching.